We're going to do today, just go through the Mud Box and the Mud Box Pro just to show you the pros and cons of both machines. Initially, the first thing you do is you load your tape on, which goes onto the spool, like so, goes in, clicks under retainers, and your paper tape comes up and in. That way there's less stress. If it was coming over, there'd be a lot of stress at this point. So your paper tape comes up and in, bring the lid forward, remove, and the tape actually feeds in under the retaining bar, comes through. With your hand control underneath to retract the head, bar back on, and that's virtually how you've got your tape on prior to installing the compound. To fill it up with compound, forward slightly, in, as you can see through the clear side, or pretty clear anyway, that fills up with compound. As the tape draws out the head, it wipes out with an adjustable amount of compound. So mud's in, bring the head back, lock it down, and your adjusting screw on the head just there allows less or more compound onto the tape depending on how you need it. As you normally come along the wall, just hold the machine on your arm, it's a lot more ergonomic. You've got hold of the crease and cutter wheel, which you can see there, all included in one on that, very simple. Hold that back as you're coming along the joint. As you come off the joint, you've got to stop, bring forward, let the cutting blade come over, and push forward again, which will cut the tape. Very simple machine, it's been around for years, and the industry loves it. It's so much easier. Just like I say, one little tip, when you're working it, work it on one arm like that. If you try and work it the other way, you've got too much power on your wrist, you're going to burn yourself out, it's not worth it. So hand on the back control. As you come through, come off your joint, let your creaser wheel come forward and you push forward and cuts off. For walls and ceilings, you can also go along ceilings. Hold your creaser cutter wheel back as you're going along your ceilings, come off the ceiling, let the cutting wheel go, come forward, and your tape's there ready to bed into your joint. Same as your internals, as you're coming up your internal, once again pull your creaser cutter back. As you start coming up your internal, just let the internal wheel, the little black one there, actually folds. It'll actually assist bedding the tape into the internal. Once again up the top, come off, let it come forward, push up, and your internal's in, then you can roll and glaze it. So that's your Mud Box. Great little machine, the industry loves it, and but we have made improvements. So we can step forward and just have a look at that. So I'll just move the tape. Mud Box Pro, they're both the same. They're both polycarbonate. The Mud Box is a clear. This one's a opaque black, so you can't see through it, but you will know just by the feel how much mud. Also a hand control on the side, which can help free you up. But once again, carrying on your arm like that is a lot easier. One of the features is the separate wheel and cutter on the front, which are now rear control. Your cutter is on the inside, creaser wheel is on the outside for internals. So exactly the same practice. Load the tape up, forward. Exactly the same. They both hold 2.5 litres of compound. Depending on how much mud you actually put up with your compound will govern how much you get out. Let's go the feed plate. By screwing the feed plate down, you have less mud on the tape. Bringing it back up, you increase the mud on the tape, less pressure. So you can actually open that right up to get a fair bit of compound. Exactly the same. So your compound goes, once again your tape is coming this way over the top, it's not coming up and over at a stress point there. Your compound once again fills inside the box, bring it back down, lock it down, you're ready to go. You've got the hand control there, so you can almost play a song with it. Exactly the same thing as you're coming along, but when you get to a joint, I'll just roll it over, And you can see the, back that off a bit, the cutting wheel. When you get to a joint, you don't have to take it off the wall, just cut right forward, you've got it. Or if you're coming up an internal, use your crease wheel, coming up your internal. And because you have hand controls on the back, this will actually help you get to a 2.7 ceiling, maybe 3 metre, depending on the height of the operator. So controls on the back are fantastic, and all going forward. A few more moving parts, but no, they're great. Pretty well an indestructible box. It has been said it's bulletproof plastic, but I think that's a slug gun from 60 metres. I wouldn't do that. If you're going to buy something like this, you look after it, obviously, and maintain it, and clean down after each gauge. But that's sort of the difference between the two boxes, and it's personal choice. If you feel good with a mud box, use the mud box. Mud Box Pro, go the Pro.